Hello there guys, welcome back to another JDL. It's quite a quick one, this one actually. I just got asked to do it about 2 minutes before it started. This one's between Russian Mathematic and Hobobeans. It's the Season 8 Swedish Starter division. Already into first set of bans and picks. Managed to let the Doom go, and Russian Mathematic have banned out the Pugna. I cast Russian Mathematic actually in the 82L. Recently they got knocked out in the quarterfinals, and they got knocked out twice to a Pugna push draft. So that might be a good reason why they're banning out the Pugna. They let the Doom go through, but they got the Lich and the Slardar, giving them very good lanes. Slardar lanes very well against the Doom, if they want to do that. Got quite a defensive support in the Dazzle, so quite lucky there. But it really depends to see what they want to go with it. The Dazzle tends to just be just so that the Slardar, they can't pair the Slardar with the Dazzle. The weave and the amplify damage does way too much. Finding out the Winter Wyvern as well as the they might be wanting to go for I don't know, Alchemist, banning out the A and the Winter Wyvern. Some good old lockdown, and I guess you definitely don't want A with if you have the Alchemist. But not too much given away yet. Doom can play safe and can play offlane, and sometimes gets played middle, but not really anymore because you get a lot more tempo mids nowadays. If he was up against the Queen of Pain or something like that, he'd lose very strongly. Oh, and a Wisp. Tiny is still in the pool. You can go Wisp Slardar. I don't know if Hobobeans want to pick up the Tiny. You can pick. People have been playing him support actually recently. So you never know. But it does seem to have thrown them out a bit. They didn't really pay much attention to it. They have got the Doom for the Wisp though. And if you manage to get the weave on the Wisp will die very, very quickly. Starts off with 0 armor, and I don't believe it has too great stat gain in that. It's a strength hero, which is really weird. Or Witch Doctor. Still quite good against the tether or the relocate, because you're coming in right next to each other, and if you can get the cask off bouncing in between yourselves, that does sort of give you a little bit of setup, but that does require very, very quick reactions. Gives you the heal as well, but it is the Wisp Tiny. They were able to get that, and he'll be hitting very, very hard with the Slardar there. Lich as well, being able to frost armor up on the Tiny. You can be that frontline tank that nobody can touch. And a Spectre. Interesting. I think they're just going to try and out-farm it. Hope that it doesn't come online a little bit too quick. Found out the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain's quite good against the IO Tiny. You still get a lot of regen from the Wisp. But on the other hand, she can burst down the Wisp, especially when she gets to level 6. Just a blink, scream, and ult, then that's it really. It's the safe lane or the off lane, I think they're... And yeah, they pick up an Alchemist. Alch will probably be their safe lane. I'd say a Slardar going off lane. You could Slardar and Lich. You could solo an Alch because it'll just be the Alch against the Doom. Doom has no armor as well, level 1, so Alchemist's Acid Spray would be very good against that. I believe it's physical damage, yeah, so when it reduces his armor the first time by 4, he's going to be taking far more than that says.
5 seconds remaining.
But it looks like they need a mid laner.
Reserve time.
Going up against the Wisp and Tiny. With the Spectre as well, you want someone that can fight early with the Doom, the Dazzle and the Witch Doctor. Viper's still in the pool. He's been picked quite a bit. He's very good against the Tiny and the Alchemist and the Slardar as well, especially with that ultimate and slow. It's relatively tanky as well. Can put out quite a lot of harass. But mid lane, unless they want to go the Doom mid lane, but I would doubt they would want to do that because he would get nothing. They go for the Lina instead. Can give you that lockdown. You can instantly burst the Wisp as well. Once you get that 6, about the same, but just pretty much instantaneous burst. Let's see if we can tell. Nobody's bought anything yet, obviously. Apart from a courier, just the donkey.
Hello there, guys.
Wonder if they'll have a nicer courier than the donkey. They have got the molten Ignis stone set.
JDL.
Oh god,
It's
my
quick on this
stream
one.
is on in the background. Silly bugger. It happens every now and then. Looks like he's reconnected as well. We'll have a Lich. Alchemists. That doesn't look... That's definitely a safe lane build. He will most likely be going up against this Doom. Pretty standard so far. They want to give the Spectre the space to farm. Get herself a Radiance relatively quick and try and out-farm everyone else, but seeing as it is... Oh. But with the Alchemist, with the Tiny and the Wisp, you could even do what Team OG did in the Frankfurt Major, which was just farm up on Ags for the Tiny, and then the Tiny goes like straight Butterfly or something like that, and by about 18 minutes or something, the Tiny will have an Ags and a Butterfly, which just makes him unkillable and able to push down the towers so fast. But we'll see if they want to do that or give a little bit more farm priority to the Alchemist. That tends to happen when the Alchemist is mid, but if he's a safe lane Alch, maybe you want to give him a little bit more. Alchemist definitely wanting to pick up that bounty rune, and he didn't skill up Greed. He's being pinged out for that. Forgot to skill up Grievel's Greed. Oh, 400 gold down the drain. Very. You'll be feeling that, I'm sure. Silly. Sorry, 1 second. What is it? Can't remember what it is. It's... You put everything down, don't you? Yeah, there we are. Nice and smooth. So the problem is that it's been a little bit... I was playing a game before and you can't really play a game when it's sort of very low. Although the Tiny and Wisp are safe lane. Interesting. That puts the Alchemist against Alina mid. I would never say that's the best option. You will get that farm, but on the other hand, she does have the range. I mean, I believe this is long enough. She is at minus, so she's taking 14% extra in this acid spray. Especially with it level 2. Quite big. Seems to just be a little bit of lane pressure. The Doom's able to get quite a bit though in this lane. Because Wisp does not hurt at all, and he's not pulling. We went for the dual lanes, so he will get a lot from this. The Slardar is against a tri-lane though. He'll put a lot of hurt. Oh wow, he could actually end up going down here, and yes, the Slardar ends up going down to the Witch Doctor. Stayed a little bit too long and on far too low health. He's 3-0 against the Doom's 7-3. 9-3 is actually top of the net worth on this offlane Doom. Or top of the last hits at least. Might even be top of net worth. Yes, he is. Especially seeing as the Alk ended up not skilling up his Gravel's Greed. And he able to get a bounty rune here though, which is good. He does have that bottle. So he'll have it this time and it'll give him 275. Still good enough. Missing 500 gold originally. Slardar should do relatively well in this lane, but on the other hand, they are able to pull because they're a tri-lane. I don't think Lich has really been able to do enough here. Might have been better pulling up here because of Doom getting quick farm. He'll be able to do a lot against this Tiny. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of fighting here. The cask was already thrown out. They were very close together. And Lich is just going to take a little bit more harass. But they're starting to make it back up. The Tiny is 15-4. Their lanes are doing relatively well. But we'll have to see once the rotations start. Alchemist hoping for the bounty rune up at the top here again. Yeah, he gets it again. 290 that time. And a full bottle. Dazzle's taking a lot of harass here once the Lich starts getting more and more levels in this Frost Blast. If the cask went out there, they might have actually been able to do a bit of damage to the Slardar, but don't bother. Slardar 8-0 against 17-4. The offlane's not really going well in the favour of Russian Mathematic so far. All of the lanes going relatively well. So once the level 6s come online, that's when you're going to see the rotations. Tiny will just probably keep on farming here. Doom probably going to pick up the phase boots here. I'm not a big fan of Doom's going for the Hand of Midas, although he is getting quite a lot of farm, but Midas is a little bit too slow. You should really try and push the increase that you have here, though Garrison might end up going down here. The high cast does bounce again. A little bit more to the Lich. Very lucky bounces.
Middle is missing.
Lina is picking up a bottle. She just seems to be ferrying it out to herself. The Tiny level 4, the Doom is already level 6, so doesn't have his ultimate yet, or not enough mana for it. But he's just going to come in and run in and do so much damage to this Wisp. And they can't do anything to him, especially level 3 Scorched Earth, 34 health a second. Whenever that comes off cooldown, you can just start harassing away. Alchemist going straight point booster. I don't know if this is a good idea, going straight for the Aghanims, but the Lena has picked up an Invis, so she'll be looking to go up top. She has the Laguna Blade, so she can just burst down this IO instantly. That's 450 plus the 320 if she hits the Dragon Slave, and as expected the Wisp just sits behind the tower. The Tiny won't fall straight to that combo, but when this wave goes in, this amount of harass. Oh wow, oh lovely stun coming out, although it does look like he might end up going down. The Tiny is probably going to get chased here and does end up going down. Laguna Blade is used. So it's 3-0 at the moment. Net worth, top of it is the Alchemist, as you would expect, seeing as the Lena did rotate. That gives him a little bit of space. All of his net worth is going to end up going to somebody else, and the Lich goes down to the Spectre here. The Spectre is getting free farm. Well, it's 16 and 4. Not be able to get many of these last hits, although Spectre doesn't have too much damage at the beginning. But not dying is the main thing really for the Spectre. She's been part of a tri-lane as well, and every single lane has been at least one of the creeps denied out. Tiny almost level 6. That's a bit of a problem, I think, with this Axe Rush on the Alchemist, is that it's going to be too early for Tiny. He's not going to have enough attack speed to do anything with it. They're not going to be able to push enough. It's always a good idea to get a farming item or something on the Alchemist, and the Doom comes out from the Doom, and the Alchemist might even end up going down. He did manage to pop his Chemical Rage beforehand though, so he will be able to just heal up through this, and with the Wisp as well. So now Doom just ends up running away, picks up the Bracer. Oh, and the Lich ends up going down the end of there as well. Just caught that. Dazzle's Poison Touch. Slardar still not got too much farm here. He's still not level 6 yet either, about 9 minutes. And the Doom is level 8. Just level 6 now. So once you start throwing that out, the 24% extra damage on the Spectre, that's a lot. It's very low armor on the side of the Radiant. But Alchemist is about 200 away from getting that Axe to the Tiny. I'm sure it is to the Tiny. Really the only one that you want to give it to, unless you give it to the Lich. Level, I've never thought about that, but level 1 instant, like constant Lich ulti could be very good. But Tiny is final level 6, but it's not enough. I don't, because once this goes, he's gonna have an Axe, great, but the Alchemist is gonna be gimping his own farm. He's not gonna have enough.
Invisibility.
Doom dropping things for the efficiency, and it looks like the Lich actually might end up going down again. This offlane not going too well, and it goes to the Spectre as well. Who's level 6 has the Phase Boots, and went for an Urn of Shadows as well. very aggressive build. It looks like they're not going to go... Ah, Dazzle decided not to do anything there against the Slardar. But that should be the Tiny with his Ags. He was very powerful right now then. 1.7k. But he just doesn't have enough attack speed at this moment in time to really make use of it. Because the Ags gives you 50% toss bonus. And then the cleave. Extra attack range. Oh wow.
Got a light?
End of that. I wasn't expecting her to use the Laguna Blade, but it looks like they pushed out that bottom tower, and it looks like they might actually just want to go in for the tier 2 actually. Finish it before anybody can get another item. But Alchemist just doesn't do enough at the moment. It's only a level 2 stun. Not very powerful. Tiny wants to get the throw in there, and the stun comes out on the both of them. Oh, Lena comes back in and gets blasted down by the Lich. So it's quite a good kill for them. 7-1. If you have a look at the graphs, it's definitely in the advantage of HPU. Hobos. But the Alchemist will want to get a farming item first. I mean, if he'd picked up a farming item quickly, I think actually he probably could have the Ags very quick anyway. And the ulti coming out from the Spectre here, going up top against the Wisp. Wisp ends up using the relocate, but it looks like the Tiny is maybe going to go down. Yeah, he's definitely going down with the Doom ticks on him, unless the Wisp comes in quick enough. The Wisp might be able to heal him up. Yes! Perfect time. So the Spectre ends up going down, and Tiny does not. Doom is coming in here. Oh, and the ulti comes out on the Lich. Although it looks like quite a bit of damage is coming out here. The Tiny's going to be able to get a kill on the Lena. The Slardar are getting another amplified damage off. And they're just going to retreat here. Tiny is already at almost just over 2,000 gold. So if he manages to get himself another attack speed item, then he should be able to have that 18 minutes Ags attack damage, or attack speed. It's the attack speed item that he wants, something survivable as well. Doesn't want to go anything that's too defensive, because then there's not much point. Although Blink Dagger is quite good for it as well, especially at this point in the game. When you can just blink in, you get that extra 50% toss bonus. So 450 damage, and I believe that if it's also a enemy unit, it takes another 20%. So it's quite good. They really want to start using this bonus building damage though soon. No points up in ice armor yet, and up top it looks like the Tiny actually shows his Blink Dagger, and he's gonna end up getting the Doom as well. I'm thinking the Doom does have the Doom up, but no, ends up going down to the Tiny, who has showed the first use of his Blink and gets another 750 gold on top of that. And it looks like Lena, no, she's got a haste rune. Alchemist ends up stunning himself, but he's got another 2600. Looks like he's going to go for the Radiance straight away after Boots. You might want to drop the acid spray about here, and you can, or is he going to stack first? Possibly. Spectre is 1600 towards her Radiance. Has died once after getting the kills. The graphs are going all the way down again. So it looks like the Tiny's managing to make this very early Aghanims pay off. It's a lot of damage here. You could probably start wailing on that middle tower. A couple of hits and it's 75% extra damage on this. Only be 2 hits? 3 hits maybe? Doom going for the Shadow Blade. Picks up the Shadow Amulet first though. Sometimes you want the Shadow Blade to be quite hidden when you first get it, so you don't tend to pick it up straight off. Slardar's 1440 away, so he's about 700 away from his blink. A little bit less. No, about 700. Tiny is picking up a drum. Oh, and the Tiny goes in here onto the Luna and just toss up and smack. And the stun comes out on the Witch Doctor, but he manages to get the cask out as well, which is, as I say, very annoying between the Tiny and the Wisp, but they're able to go back, start farming at this bottom lane again. And he has the drum out on him, so he moves very fast now, especially with the Wisp tether on him. The blink coming out here just to get himself closer to this wave, and just start wailing in on this tower. Once the overcharge comes out as well, the amount of damage that you're doing on towers. There you are. Very quick, didn't use the glyph either. That's bringing Slardar very close to his blink. And once that starts happening, they'll be able to do a lot more with it. Tiny is TPing in here, he just stood about for a sec. Oh, doesn't manage to get the toss back on the Doom. Oh, the Luna actually has a Yule Scepter. Managed to get the staff on the Slardar, and the Slardar is going to go down to the Laguna Blade. But the Dazzle ends up going down here, and the Luna is down as well. The Spectre ulti comes up. The Spectre does decide to come out as well, although there's not much that you can do in the middle of this fight against a rampaging Tiny, and he's just going to keep on wailing on you. Triple kill for the Tiny. Blinks himself in on this Doom. The Doom's not got much left. But neither does the Tiny. So Tiny Doom managed to get a double kill, but Tiny managed to get a triple kill on him. Has the blink up again in a second. We'll have enough for his combo as well. That's another 2600 gold. He's going all the way down there. And Alchemist does have his Sacred Relic, picks up the tower, which gives him the Radiance. Tiny just starts wailing on this top tower as well. Just takes out the creep wave in a few quick slaps. And now that the Alchemist has an extra farming item on him and is getting more bounty runes, this should pull. The Tiny is obviously the top of the net worth because he's given that 4-point-something K item, but looks like the Wisp is going to go down to the Doom. He was pretty much left alone, the Shadow Blade bringing him in, just taking out most of the Wisp's health in one.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The Lich is going for the mech as well. Tiny went for Hyperstone and Plate Mail, so he's going to go for the very quick AC. Radiance is on the Alchemist, which should start pushing him faster and faster ahead. It's not a mech out on the side of Hobos yet. The Witch Doctor is going for straight Aghanims as well, and actually the Witch Doctor is being caught out, and he's just killed very, very quickly. The Dazzle might end up dying here as well, and he does, and he does manage to get a grave off. The Slumber gets Yuled up, gets stunned as well, but there's not too much that he can do here, and the Doom is going to go in and uses the Doom on the Tiny, but Tiny's just too tanky. Out in this front line, the Alchemist is here, and he's just going to throw down the Acid Spray. Maybe take out this creep wave as well. Get himself a fair bit of farm, which should also allow the next wave, which is being held back, so they're not going to be able to get a tower here. So that's just a one-for-nothing trade. But Tiny just staying alive in the middle of that. Actually, it was 2-for-nothing. Didn't manage to get a tower out of it, but they managed to get the Doom. Tiny getting himself some illusions. Good for farming up the enemy's camps as well. And the blink comes in actually, and just 2 shots to dazzle. Combo is very, very strong. And yeah. So he almost has the AC. He's going to be able to blink in here actually on the Doom as well, but they don't have any detection. The dust does come out and it actually clips him. And the Doom, as fast as he is not really fast enough, and didn't realise that he got clipped there. The Tiny is beyond godlike now. And yeah, he should just be able to take the Air Ancients, and he'll have the AC very, very soon. Top of the net worth. The net worth graph is going all the way down. Big slippery slope. Slardar doesn't have his next item after Blink. And even the illusions from the Tiny doing quite a lot of damage to the Spectre, who's almost got her relic. But the Tiny is incoming. Oh, they don't manage to get the Dazzle straight away. He manages to get a good weave on 2 of them. The Wisp Balls do manage to get him. So, good weave. It will end up taking them into negative armor. But there's nothing they can really do, and there's a DD here, so... Oh, the IO bottle's up. Interesting. I was thinking they might have went straight for the Roche with that rune. Spectre, very close. Oh, the Alchemist might end up going down here. His ultimate is very, very nearly out as well. And yes, there's 3 people here. Although the Wisp Tiny comes in, and that's 2 hits. No, not enough stun. And it looks like they might be a little bit further in than they wanted to be. On the Wisp. Oh no. Tiny's in. He gets doomed out, but that's not really enough. The AC really playing in here and just manages to kill off the Doom, and it's a full team wipe for just the Alchemist. Alchemist has BTs as well, so in 30 seconds he'll be back in. But that should be a tier 3 unless they manage to get some buybacks out, but 23 minutes into the game you don't want to be using buybacks already. Especially with your Spectre, who is so close to getting that. Just picking up her relic, and they're just able to wail on these racks. They'll get a full lane here. 24 minutes, full lane of racks. Although Tiny's taking a lot of damage, but on the other hand, just not enough. And it looks like the Lena might end up going down by herself. No, she gets healed up. And might end up taking down the Tiny. Tiny's very, very tanky here, but seems just too tanky. And the stun comes out on him, and the Doom is here, so might want to go in. Oh, big, big damage there coming out on the Tiny. It seems to be, what, 316. I don't think that was. No. Just seems to be lucky. Huge amount of base damage. But the Spectre does have her relic now, and that fight is about 3.5k swing. 15,000 though, full lane of racks, and no matter what, the Spectre doesn't have the Radiance yet, so still not able to really push out these waves, and once it starts just being the super creeps, you're going to get less and less farm. You're not going to be able to pull yourself ahead, and the Alchemist is just going to be able to pull himself forward as well. He's almost got that. Oh no, he does have that Manta, he just has an extra 1400 gold as well. And manages to find himself a stack. Pulling himself ahead now. And with the Manta style, just start to farm out waves, keep him pushed. Slardar picked up an armlet actually. It's quite interesting. Tiny has himself an Eagle Song, he's going to go for that Butterfly. There's a smoke out here from the Radiant side. Probably expecting a Roshan, but can they really fight against it? Oh, very good. Oh wow. Doom just blew up the Alchemist on this side here. Although Tiny coming in here and just double kills the two supports. There's not really anything that they can do here. Dazzle didn't manage to get any of his off, and this Roshan will go down very, very quickly with all that minus armor, and this should be an Aegis on the Tiny. And very nearly at his Butterfly. So with, I don't know, with his tier 2 down bottom, he should be about a couple of hundred away. If they're gonna go for it. I guess he just wants to farm out the camps as well whilst he can. Slardar not picking up anything else. He's got 1400 though, so you might want to go for, I don't know, BKB or Lotus Orb could be quite good. Lincoln's could be very good as well. Alchemist coming in here, popping his ultimate, has the illusions as well that are moving 500, and they'll just take out this wave. Bottom tower going down, and Tiny should have his Butterfly very, very soon. They're just going to push out the mid tower as well. Net worth just going further and further down. This top lane is just going to keep on pushing. And no matter what the Spectre can do to push out at the moment, there's another 20 seconds on Haunt, so can try and farm out a bit. But the Alchemist picks up the Soul Booster, so he's going for that Altarine Core. They're going to send the Illusions to push down this top lane, and then once somebody comes along to it, maybe they're just baiting out so that they're able to burst someone down with the blink. Doom picked up a Shiva, I didn't actually notice that, and he went Invis. Don't believe there's a gem. No, not a gem or any dust actually. So not able to get anything done at the moment here. They still have the Aegis for a while, and just picked up the Butterfly. Aegis goes until then, so I think they've got another 3 minutes. Yeah, Slardar is going for that BKB. Alchemist is about 1000 away from that Octarine Core, which will give his illusions lifesteal off the Radiance Burn, and also reduce the cooldown on his Manta Style even further. And the cooldown on Boots and Travel as well. Ultimate, very good. But this bottom tower is going down. Yeah, a good weave off, but they just decide to go just for that. Doing so much damage to these melee racks here. And the ultimate coming out from the Spectre as well. The Tiny gets doomed up, but he's actually going to go down right in their base. The Alchemist is laying into the Spectre though, and the Alchemist might end up going down as well to this last tech. No, it doesn't. The Tiny does come in here, he gets Yulesed up, does manage to kill off the Witch Doctor though, and I think they're just going to end up having to give up these racks. They threw everything at him originally, pretty much everybody's ultimates. The Doom is being seen. Alchemist throws out the stun here on the Doom, but doesn't manage to get anything here. The Tiny does end up going down in this, or pushes this middle tower, and it looks like the Lena's going to go down as well. Big old crush from the Slardar, just ducking and weaving in these fights. Yeah, they just take down the middle tower. They don't need to push too much here. Their wave isn't in, and everyone is almost back. Still another 35 seconds on the Doom. Tiny's just a little bit too strong for them right now. Has enough really to get himself another item as well. And there's the Octarine on the Alchemist. It's giving him 22.5 second cooldown on the Mant style, 33 and a bit. 33 and a bit on Chemical Rage as well. 16.5, so it's only 0.5 second downtime on Acid Spray. So yeah, all in all, very good. It was 2.5 seconds downtime on your Mad style illusions. They do get healed up with that Radiance Burn. He's just gonna look for the next item as well, whatever that may be. It looks like they're just going to try and push in for this middle tower. The Tiny picks himself a Moon Shard. So much damage. He'll just be able to wail on these Vrax, and Spectre actually picked up a Vitality booster. Don't know if they're hoping to go for the heart or just some raw HP here. But they are a little bit hurting on this. Oh wow, the Tiny's going in on this, and she just dies off pretty much instantly. So much damage from the Tiny, and the attack speed that the Tiny has as well. And the stun coming out here. The buyback from the Spectre, but they're already mega creeped. And the Tiny just wailing into the Spectre. There's GG. Tiny ending that 21 and 2. Yeah. Alchemists. Originally I thought it was going to be a little bit greedy, going straight for that Aghanims, especially when the Tiny couldn't use it quick enough, but no, they seemed to be able to get those few key kills that allowed the Tiny to get that next item very, very quickly. So yeah, very well done, Russian Mathematic for their